Let's count down 15 country bands from 1974 that deserved the spotlight but slipped through the cracks. These weren't just songs, they were barstool confessions and pinewood prayers wrapped in steel springs. And the final track, it was played only once on live radio before vanishing forever.
Smile real big for Jesus, huh?
Lonesome, you're ready to go back home. Home sweet home, sure.
Number 15, Midnight Rider's Waltz by the Dalton Plainsmen.
Put old Nick to work. You want to? Here's a great old song, and I know you may want to sing along with this one.
You already know that feeling. Headlights in the dark, a two-lane highway, and a voice on the radio that sounds like it's carrying 10 years of heartbreak. Midnight Rider's Waltz, with a mournful fiddle dancing around a steel guitar. This track haunted late-night jukeboxes and truck stops from Reno to Mobile. It never cracked to the charts, but every southern dive bar had it on rotation. You don't hear harmonies like this anymore. Light, trembling, and worn like an old pair of boots. Up next, a fiddle-soaked ballad that nearly made it onto the Coal Miner's Daughter's soundtrack. Number 14, Dust on the Chapel Floor by the Harlan County Revival.
This is another brand new one. It's a happy song. This isn't about at all what it sounds like.
If you've ever wandered into a church just to escape the weight of the world, this one's for you. Dust on the Chapel Floor feels like a whispered confession. The Harlan County Revival, a coal town collective from eastern Kentucky, laced gospel chords with outlaw grit. You can hear the pain in every verse, voices cracking, boots stomping, and a sense that God might be listening, but not answering. The song never saw a vinyl release beyond a few hundred local pressings, yet collectors still chase its ghost. But what comes next? A rambling tune that turned one man's heartbreak into a hill country legend. Number 13, Lonesome County Line by Smokey Ridge Union. This track feels like it was into the side of a boxcar. Lonesome County Line sounds exactly like its name, a guitar riff that rolls like gravel underfoot, and lyrics soaked in moonshine and memory. Smokey Ridge Union had one shot at a regional radio station out of Texarkana, and that was it. But the song lived on, bootlegged, covered, whispered about. It captured the ache of a man who watched a woman board a greyhound and never looked back, and inspired a generation of misfits and dreamers.
One more hand for Tracy. Yes. You showed him.
But next, we bring it back to the soft glow of a love song, written like a poem, and I'll write you a poem if you hit the subscribe button right now. Number 12, Cicada Moon by the Red Hollow Ramblers. This one shimmers like heat waves on a Tennessee back road. Cicada Moon is pure summer dusk, lazy, longing, and just a little bit haunted. The Red Hollow Ramblers were fronted by a school teacher turned songwriter who layered soft harmonies over a waltz time beat. You can practically hear the screen door slam in the background. It never charted, but it made its way onto college radio playlists and underground mixtapes that passed from dorm rooms to dive bars. It's the kind of track that feels like you've always known it, even if you've never heard it.
Hey, Klaus. Thank you very much.
Up next, a horse thief anthem dressed up like a love song. Number 11, Borrowed Horses by Jenny and the Hollow Pines.
Eric and I do like a lot of the composition I write. Randy actually helped write some stuff on our...
Jenny's voice wasn't a melody, it was a memoir. Borrowed Horses is one part outlaw tale, one part elegy, and all heart. Jenny and the Hollow Pines came out of Austin just as outlaw country was finding its boots, but this track never got the airplay it deserved. It tells the story of lovers stealing time like they stole horses, galloping into the dawn with nothing but a guitar and a warning. And that final chorus, it hits like a goodbye you knew was coming. But hold on, the next song is a whiskey-drenched secret passed down in backroom bars. Number 10, Whiskey and Whispers by the Bluegrass Cartel. This song doesn't shout, it lingers. Whiskey and Whispers sounds like a conversation between ghosts, wrapped in dobro slides and soft mandolin. The Bluegrass Cartel weren't really outlaws, but they sang like they'd run from more than just the law. Released only on a cassette and sold from the trunk of a Pontiac in Birmingham. It somehow found a cult following in Nashville coffee houses. It's the kind of a track that makes you lean in, like you're eavesdropping on someone else's heartbreak. Coming up, a train song that thunders like the heartache it left behind. Number 9, Train Don't Cry by the Franklin Junction Boys. There's something sacred about a train song, and Train Don't Cry captures it all. The Franklin Junction Boys, a scrappy three-piece from West Virginia, poured everything into this one track. It's not about the train itself, but the silence after it leaves. The harmonica moans like a distant whistle, while the lyrics paint a picture of a man left behind, not just love, but by time. It aired once on a low-watt station in Wheeling, and then disappeared into bootleg tapes and roadside memories. But for those who heard it, it never left. Next stop, a song that wore velvet and denim in the same verse. Number 8, Heartland Fadeaway by the Timber Valley Saints. This one hums like a neon sign outside a shuttered honky-tonk. Heartland Fadeaway was the Timber Valley Saints' shot at blending soft rock hooks with country grit, a gamble that confused radio execs but captivated local crowds. You've got slide guitar crying under lush harmonies and lyrics about lovers fading like Polaroids left in the sun. It never made it past a self-released EP, but it remains a holy grail for collectors. If you've ever looked out over an empty field and thought about who used to be there, this song gets you. Coming up next, a church tune that broke all the rules and stole the show. Number 7, No Sunday Shoes by the Old Saddle Choir.
Smile real big for Jesus.
From the first chord, you know this isn't your grandpa's gospel tune. No Sunday Shoes walks barefoot through muddy back roads of belief and doubt. With a banjo beat that sounds more revival tent than cathedral, the Old Saddle Choir pushed boundaries with this one, questioning tradition while still honoring its bones. Banned from several religious stations for being irreverent, it still found life in late-night college radio and the backs of smoky bars. If you've ever wrestled with faith but still showed up for the music, this one sings for you. Next, a dusty hymn to broken wells and deeper pain. Number 6, Gravel in the Gospel by Dusty Trammel and the Hollow Wells.
We're going to play a combination of some of our songs and some country songs by Toby Keith and some of them dudes later on.
This one hits like a prayer shouted into the wind. Gravel in the Gospel is Dusty Trammel's masterpiece, raw, cracked, and carried on the backs of harmonies as ragged as barbed wire. It's the sound of a man digging through his past with nothing but a bottle and a banjo. Released independently in '74, it barely sold a few hundred copies, but resonated deeply with Vietnam vets and country fans who didn't want polish. They wanted truth. The Hollowell's backup vocals felt less like a choir, more like ghosts echoing from a canyon wall. Next up, a front porch lullaby that should have been a national treasure. Number 5, Porchlight Serenade by Mama June and the Rustwood Ramble. Sometimes a song doesn't ask for your attention, it just waits for you to come home. Porchlight Serenade is soft, slow, and soaked in nostalgia. Mama June's voice quivers with maternal wisdom, backed by the gentle picking of the Rustwood Ramble like a cradle rock rhythm. It's the sound of supper cooling on the table and someone hoping you'll walk through that door. Though it never made national waves, it became a local anthem in small-town Mississippi, played at weddings, funerals, and Sunday night radio hours. But what's next? A Plainsmen ballad with gospel bones and outlaw blood. Number 4, Cold Pines and Cattle Roads by the Second Son Revival.
This is called the Second Son!
If a snowstorm could sing, it might sound like this. Cold Pines and Cattle Roads rides a lonesome harmony over sparse acoustic guitar and soft steel. The Second Son Revival, a short-lived Montana band, wove rural imagery into biblical metaphors and stitched it all together with aching precision. You could hear the frost in the singer's breath, the solitude of ranchland winters, the faith you cling to when there's no one left to pray with. It was too quiet for radio, too thoughtful for the charts, but perfect for hearts that grew up in silence. Coming next, a track that burned bright, fast, and left smoke in its wake. Number 3, Smoke Signals from Abilene by the Tennessee Drybacks.
That Hoyt Herbert recorded back in the 60s, and we decided to put our own spin on Kentucky Sun Going Down.
This one didn't just play, it flared. Smoke Signals from Abilene is equal parts outlaw warning and poetic breakdown. The Tennessee Drybacks came and went like a dust storm, but not before dropping this scorched earth anthem, with a thunderous rhythm section and lyrics full of burned bridges and unspoken truths. It sounded like Waylon Jennings' shadow whispering from a motel room. It was played once at a bar in Lubbock where, legend has it, the crowd went silent, but not from boredom, from awe. You don't forget a song like this.
Lonesome, you're ready to go back home. Home sweet home, sure.
Up next, a ballad born on the fault lines of heartbreak and magnolias. Number 2, Ballad of the Long Gone by the Magnolia Fault Line.
It is because this is the only 80s child showing it in this band.
This song moves like molasses and memory. Ballad of the Long Gone feels like it was written in candlelight, scribbled on a nap just after the love of your life walked away. The Magnolia Fault Line, a 5-piece from Georgia, fused Delta blues with Appalachian folk, creating a sound that never quite fit the mainstream mold. This ballad drips with imagery, rusted gates, torn letters, and promises you never should have believed. It was too slow for radio, too pure for pop, but absolutely unforgettable for anyone nursing an old wound. And finally, a song so rare, some believe it never truly existed. Number 1, The Last Dance at Mercy Creek by the Waverly Riders. There are songs you hear and songs you feel. The Last Dance at Mercy Creek is the latter, a swirling cinematic masterpiece that captures the final moments of a love story in a town the world forgot. The Waverly Riders were a mystery, a one-record band from North Carolina whose only album vanished after the studio burned. Rumors say the master tapes were lost. making this track a ghost only found on a few warped vinyl test pressings. But those who've heard it speak of a steel guitar that weeps and a final verse that feels like the end of the world. If you found this deep dive memorable, hit like and subscribe so we can keep the music alive. These weren't just tracks, they were sonic postcards from 1974, each carrying a story too heavy for the charts and too honest for the spotlight. Which of these songs hit you the hardest or surprised you the most? Next up, we're diving into 1974, where the ghost of glam and folk clashed on every stage. You won't believe what made the list. Click the video on screen now to keep this journey going. Some legends fade, others hide in plain sight.